have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Scholars of Wrestling. If you don't know it by now, there's something wrong with you. I am Tarek, the Master of Mastery, and alongside me, my co-hosts. Introduce yourselves.
I am Jeff, the so-called Master of Foolery.
The called Master of Foolery.
That doesn't even make any grammatical sense.
It doesn't need to. You're not so-called, you are the called.
By you.
By all of us.
And I am Brian, the so-called Master of Douchery.
What is with this so-called? Stop it,
well,
both of you.
Apparently it changes from week to week, so,
Hey,
I still claim the title.
As long as you keep your douchiness intact, you will be known as the Master of Douchery for many years to come.
Well, for this week, there's not really much of a need to douche because it's been a pretty down week when you think about it in wrestling news, and there's not really. It's basically just follow up on storylines. Nothing really pisses me off this week. So,
but before we get into that, Jeff, let's throw in some plugs for our fans.
Yes, let's plug things like our website.
My light. Plug in my lamp.
Do your own damn chores. Anyway, as always, if you're listening to us, odds are you're likely listening to us on our main page, scholarsofwrestling.podbean.com. Of course, you can also follow us on Twitter, our Twitter machine at ScholarsOW. And if you, let's say you have a question for us, or you just want to say, hey, you guys suck, or hey, you guys are beautiful, even though I can't see you because you are an audio podcast.
They have the picture on us on our Facebook.
Yes, you can, which, of course, you can search on Facebook for us at the Scholars of Wrestling Podcast. And, of course, let's say you still want to send out that burning question or that comment about how beautiful we all are. If you want to do that, you can send it to us on our main email at scholarsofwrestling@gmail.com. I am done with my plugs. Let's go on to the good discussion, so I'll stop tripping over my words.
Yeah, we wouldn't want we wouldn't want that to be happening to us right now.
If you weren't sure, okay, we are digging for compliments. Okay, that's it.
We're digging for compliments. We're ripping on each other for the first 10 minutes of this show.
Well, compliments from some complete strangers who we probably will never meet.
Yes, our egos are that big.
Until the year 2020, when we host the first Scholars of Wrestling convention.
Yes.
Look for that in year 2020 in only my dreams.
I think in my dreams too. Let's actually get into discussion. Let's get into this past week on Monday Night Raw, and as Brian said, it was a down week, but it wasn't a bad week because even though nothing really happened, just slowly progressed in the stories, it was still kind of an entertaining week.
It was damn good progression. I really cannot honestly say that nothing happened. Just with the way the past few weeks have been going, I think we got a little spoiled. But if this is any indication of what the new normal looks like, I am all for it. Sign me up. Especially starting with your favorite segment of the entire evening by far, the Intercontinental title tournament. Am I right?
Oh, yes. I am so happy about this Intercontinental tournament and how it's progressing. Well, halfway at least. It didn't go. One of the matches didn't go how I wanted to go, but that's RVD versus Cesaro. It was a fun match. It was okay. Nothing really major happened until Jack Swagger came out and interfered, causing Cesaro a count-out, getting him out of the tournament into leading a match against him on SmackDown, which possibly ended their feud. I don't know.
This was a storyline building match, and there's no way that match on SmackDown was the feud ender. I think this goes on. I think that this is a pre-show match for
Extreme Rules.
I can see Cesaro versus Swagger being a pre-show match, but it was perfectly acceptable wrestling. It did nothing in the long run. Just furthered the Cesaro, Swagger, Heyman, Coulter feud, and it was there. nothing special, just there.
Yeah, really. I don't know. I think it was because of the way the rest of the Intercontinental title tournament has been progressing. I just think for a Raw match, for this match, the bar was set very, very high. No pun intended when talking about an RVD match.
Huh?
But yeah. But really, this match was okay. It was a very solid match that we would see on Monday Night Raw. I can't say I expected the ending with the whole countout thing with RVD. I was really expecting Cesaro to win this whole thing, but after thinking about it, this makes a lot more sense considering what we'd see elsewhere on this episode of Raw. RVD versus Barrett, the face-heel dynamic is there, and plus, especially if who wins this tournament like we think will win the tournament, it would make more sense to have a heel versus a face when we come to the actual title match between this guy and the Big E Langston, or Big E, whichever.
Who?
Big E.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
No longer the Langston.
Who would have known? Because he was on SmackDown. Only showed watching the matches on Raw.
Yeah, Big E's got like the best job in the world right now. He just comes to work and just watches TV for 10 minutes at a time. Like, that salary, come on, he's not made.
If that is how I'm getting paid to do my job, I'd take it in a second.
Oh yeah.
Okay, what if? Okay, here's just a minor digression. What if you got paid Big E Langston's salary, but the only matches you could watch were between Hornswoggle and insert your wrestler here?
Yeah, with that amount of money, I would watch anything, and that's not a lie. My brain would go numb, and it would start bleeding out of my ears. But I just remember the paycheck.
And you'd watch anything?
Don't go with
anything.
Anything.
Okay, you made it clear. Anything. Let's get back to the Intercontinental title tournament, please.
Yeah, okay. I don't think I want to go further down that rabbit hole anyway.
My biggest complaint of the RVD and Cesaro getting out to continue this feud with Jack Swagger. If anything, I would have liked to have seen this go in the finals between him and Wade Barrett. Because it would have been a great match between Cesaro and Barrett, and it would just be even more of a shocker for Cesaro to basically get screwed out of it. And if it does come to that point where they do have Swagger and Cesaro as the pre-show match, I would like to have a little stipulation. If Cesaro wins, he gets put in the Intercontinental title match in a triple threat with Wade Barrett and Big E Langston. Because one thing I look at, Cesaro, we all love Cesaro. He's awesome. And try and look back at when he was the United States champion. He actually made those matches entertaining because he put on 5-star matches for the United States Championship. And you guys know how I dislike that title, but Cesaro made that title fun, those matches fun. And I feel like he could honestly help bring prestige back, what they're trying to do to the Intercontinental title, show that really is the second tier title, and it would elevate Cesaro even more. And don't get me wrong, does Cesaro need it? No, not at all. He can elevate to himself. I mean, he was a great addition to the Elimination Chamber match at Elimination Chamber. Ha ha ha. But I just think it would also help put something back to the Intercontinental title that's been missing for so long.
I honestly don't think that adding him into the Intercontinental title match at Extreme Rules is a good idea, because then, in my mind, it defeats the purpose of having the tournament in the first place. The winner should get a one-on-one shot, and then,
I'll give you that.
And then say that Cesaro does beat Swagger. Maybe it's a number one contender match for something down the road. But I think that it's a bad idea for it to become a triple threat match at the show, because the match is going to take place at Extreme Rules. The Intercontinental title
Yes.
match is going to take place at Extreme Rules. And I think that if it's who we think it's going to be, you have the heel versus face matchup you want. It's a good matchup. And just the fact that this person would go through the tournament and then win the Intercontinental title match at the end of it, that automatically adds prestige to the Intercontinental title.
Bingo.
I think that having it be a triple threat match would actually defeat the purpose
Of the
and
tournament.
not
I'll give you
add
that.
and not add as much prestige as you would think it would.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you there. I do agree with you, though, Phil, that Cesaro is definitely deserving. I don't think you're going to get much down in anybody's mind as far as what someone like Cesaro definitely does deserve. Now that he's been removed from the tournament, just especially the way he has been, he still looks strong, and he doesn't really need to go after the Intercontinental title right now, strictly because right now he's got something else to do to occupy his time. If, from what it looks like, we're going to have someone else who's going to have their time occupied strictly by this Intercontinental title tournament and by future title defenses. So for the purposes of what this match was, just going back to the match for a second, this match was exactly what it needed to be. It was a good, serviceable match that progressed the storyline, and I can't wait to see more.
And we've been beating around the bush of who this other person is long
Yeah.
enough. Let's just get into their match, which, hands down, was match of the night on Raw, not just for the tournament, on Raw. Bad News
Easily.
Barrett, who we were beating around the bush to, versus Sheamus, and
Barrett wins.
Barrett wins, and my God, that was such a good match. Oh my.
This was a glorious European brawl. This was what I wanted Wade Barrett to be and do since he came in with the Nexus. And it never really happened. Just have him be the Street Fighter, just have him up against Sheamus, and have them just pounding the crap out of each other for a good 15 minutes. This was exactly what it needed to be. It was gritty, it was dirty, there was hard-hitting action, and just the right person came out on top. This was everything that I wanted this match to be when it was first announced.
I'll tell you what, you want to know what this match is? This match is an iPhone. Why is it an iPhone? Because it's the kind of thing that you never knew you really, really wanted until they came up with it. This match, now, yes, of course, we can talk about how great it was, and it was great. This match made me so excited, it got me so hype, and more importantly, this match basically turned me into you, Tarek. Because I know you've been talking about the Intercontinental title tournament for months, if not years, until this point.
Not just tournament, the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, just the Intercontinental title. I have to go back to its former glory, yada, yada, yada. So at this point, after how many times I said it for a while there, I admit I was like, yeah, I've heard it before. This is the state of the Intercontinental title scene now. It sucks, but whatever. It's, put on your sunglasses and deal with it. But right now, this match made me, for the first time, see what you see. We got two really solid guys, two really solid wrestlers who we've been fans of for a while. I always liked Wade Barrett, but it seemed like it wasn't really doing much for a while. Same thing with Sheamus. I've always liked Sheamus since his debut. He's a cool guy, but they really weren't making the best use of him lately. Take those two guys and just have them go at each other, all for the Intercontinental title. That is exactly what I remember you saying about the Intercontinental title and the Intercontinental title matches for such a long time. And I kept hearing it and hearing it. I was like, yeah, whatever. It's not going to go back to the good old days. I was wrong. The good old days are back as far as the Intercontinental title is concerned. And just given how these matches are shaping up in the future, the other kinds of matches that we're going to see, It's got me excited for the Intercontinental title for the first time in a very, very long time. And I'll just come right out and say it. Fool, you were correct.
Yes, it's a good feeling.
I'm not going that far yet, because there have been glimpses of going back to the Intercontinental title's past glory in recent years. And am I excited that they're having a tournament and it's shaping up the way it is right now, and everything's been good and everything in the future looks to be good? Yes. But remember who we're talking about here. We are talking about the WWE writing team. I'm excited, but I'm not on the hype train yet.
Please don't pee in my Cheerios today. I just want to enjoy happy things for once.
Well, guess what? I'm peeing in your Cheerios. Because I have been jilted on the Intercontinental title before, and I need to see what they do after this tournament to actually get on the hype train that the Intercontinental title is back. And it, as of right now, it's the number 2 title in the company by default. In the coming weeks and months, I need the WWE writing team to act like it.
The one real difference I have to argue with that is, yes, because now it is the second tier title again. Before, it was just in the shadow of the World Heavyweight title, and it basically took what it meant. Where they wanted the World Heavyweight title to be the stepping stone to the WWE title, which was the Intercontinental title for a very long time. And now, since the fact that the World Heavyweight title's gone, well, quote, quote, gone, the belt's still there, but the title is merged, you have the prestige and how much they're promoting it, how much they're saying all the past wrestlers who has won it, and Ultimate Warrior, Pat Patterson, Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels, they're really rubbing in how much prestige this title had. I do agree with you, it really focuses on what happens after this tournament, but honestly, I'm not nervous at all with how they're going to go with it if they're continuing on this direction that they're going. I mean, they're having people who have been former world champions, Sheamus, RVD, let's see, who else was in the tournament? Mark Henry. People who actually made names for themselves with really the big tier titles, going after the Intercontinental title and really emphasizing how much they do want it, how much they want to have the glory that, let's say, the Ultimate Warrior had when he held it, when Shawn Michaels had it, when Razor Ramon had it, so on and so forth. So, I'm being optimist here, and I'm going to give the writing team some credit that they're really pushing this, and I think it's going to go in the right direction from now on.
I don't disagree with any of your points. I'm just at the point where I'm not ready to put all my eggs in one basket, as it were.
Don't worry about it.
As of right now.
I have one egg on hold.
No, I have 30 eggs, 15 are in the basket. That's what I'm saying, because the build-up has been great. But the build-up has been great for many things. So it's one of those. I hope they proved me right with Daniel. They proved me wrong with Daniel Bryan. Okay, yeah. They proved me wrong.
I was gonna say,
okay, they proved me wrong. Do it again.
Yeah, seriously.
That's what I want.
I was just about to say that too. I had to counteract your precedent with another precedent.
They proved me. Yeah. They proved me wrong with Daniel Bryan.
I put my eggs in Daniel Bryan basket, and guess what? It took a while, but it paid off.
Well, guess what? Every time I don't put all my eggs in one proverbial basket, it pays off. So you should be happy right now.
Well, yeah, because you're not a gambler.
Yeah, I'm not a gambler.
Be a gambling man.
No.
Come on.
Because every time I don't put all my eggs in one basket, I love this phrase. That's why I'm putting it over and over and over again. Every time that I do that, the writing team delivers. So I refuse.
He's being skeptical.
By being skeptical, I'm daring them to prove me wrong, and I hope they do, because this is big. this Intercontinental title tournament, this whole storyline, everything that this could represent could be a big turning point for the WWE on the same level as Daniel Bryan finally winning the WWE World Heavyweight title. We finally have a definitive number 2, and I don't believe we have it yet. Once this tournament is over, and what happens in the weeks after that, prove me wrong, WWE.
I just don't
Make it
want
right.
you to be so focused on what went wrong that you just can't enjoy what goes right.
I'm
I just
enjoying
want
what's
you
going
to
on right
believe.
now.
Get out.
I just want
Get
you
out.
to believe.
We're
Get
not
out.
there yet. Stop it.
Get out.
Neither is Bo, but it didn't stop him.
I'm not.
Get out.
I believe enough.
Okay.
I don't believe more than I should at this
It's
point.
understandable. I mean, this is just the stepping stones to getting to that point of putting the Intercontinental title back as the number 2 belt. It's, like I said, the stepping stone. Simple as that. Which leads to actually one big question. Where did you go?
Well,
You told him to leave, so I left.
Yeah, you criticized my believe.
Hey, I've been saying get out for years, and the fact that you actually got out, thank you.
You're okay. You're welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome.
So, okay, back to what I was saying. This leads to one actual thought that I wanted to save for the show, and I wanted to hear your guys' opinion on it.
Yes.
Since we're actually talking about bringing prestige back to the Intercontinental title, throughout the week I was reading the internet wrestling community's response to, let's say, Cesaro getting out of the tournament. People are actually very happy that he's out of the tournament because most people are still looking at the Intercontinental title as a cancer to their careers. When, like, let's say after Cody Rhodes brought back the white belt, everyone's winning the title, but they're not doing anything with it. They're either not on TV or they're just there. I mean, look at Curtis Axel just being the lapdog for Paul Heyman while he was getting whooped by CM Punk. People are so looking down on the Intercontinental title because of what's been happening the past few years that most of the people look like they're giving up on it. Not me. I'll never give up on the Intercontinental title.
And really, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
All I really want to ask is, do you think the Intercontinental title is at the point where it's failed beyond saving?
No. And really, I think what you just pointed out, I think I might have addressed this very briefly just a couple nights ago when we were talking, Fool. The internet wrestling community has a real serious knack for hyperbole. The Intercontinental title is not a cancer. It's more of a benign tumor. Or at least it has been for a while now, just because I don't think anybody since the time of Cody Rhodes first debuting the white strap, no one has really known what role that the Intercontinental title should take in an era with 2 world championships in the same company. Now that that's done, I think there's more of a void for the Intercontinental title to fill, which is basically going back into the same role that it has been. I do think that this represents a very, very good step in the fact that now that there is that void of -1 title, I think that both WWE Creative and the world of wrestling as a whole has more of an idea of what to do with this belt now and who to put it on. And this Intercontinental title tournament is definite proof of that. Again, Cesaro might not be in the picture right now, and I'm glad he lost that match. But again, my thought on it is my reasoning is much different. I'm just glad he's out because now that Cesaro's out of the way, Bad News Barrett can pick it up and be Intercontinental title champion, Intercontinental champion for a while. And now that he's getting pushed, it can actually mean something again. So it'll be almost like a symbiotic push. Bad News Barrett can take the Intercontinental title along with him. He can carry that buff, that push with him, and in doing so, and in carrying the Intercontinental title, he can buff up the Intercontinental title as well.
Here's my thing with the IWC. with the internet wrestling community.
I think this is...
Okay, seatbelts, kids.
No, I'm not going to go into a complete rant on it, but the internet wrestling community wants what it wants, and if it doesn't get what it wants, then they turn into raging idiots.
And if they do get what they want, they find more stuff to complain about.
Exactly. So it's like... And they are a small portion of the fans that watch wrestling. Okay, they are a very small portion. Okay, so when reading these internet wrestling community message boards or comments on news or whatever, you got to take what they say with a grain of salt, because most of them, when they don't get what they want, which in this case is the Intercontinental title being prestigious or whatever. They're calling it a cancer, which is stupid to say anyway. They're morons for actually saying it. There's nothing I find more moronic than saying that someone or something is a cancer to someone's career or someone's life or any of that, because that's just screwed up. Okay, because that kills people and not cool. But okay, the way that they're doing the best they can, the WWE, they're doing the best they can to make the Intercontinental title seem important again.
Yes.
Okay, the last few years, since like 2002? Since 2002, the Intercontinental title has been on a down period. Okay, but you gotta actually give the WWE a shot. Okay, you can't just be like, okay, we don't want Cesaro to be a champion because to be Intercontinental champion because the Intercontinental title belt is a cancer to people's career. No, it's because when they put the title on that person was not good enough to move forward. That's what happened to those people that got the Intercontinental title and didn't move on to anything important.
Exactly.
It wasn't the fault of the title itself. It was the fault of the wrestler. It was the fault of the writing team. So this whole thing is just the internet wrestling community being morons.
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it on the head there. Yeah,
I think you both have pretty much nailed it right on the head. Internet wrestling community, stop your complaining, give it a chance, and if you are not happy with that, boo-hoo to you.
Stop doing drugs, stay in school, drink your milk, and be kind to your mama.
All right.
What he said. And now
Moving on.
Now we're getting out of the tournament, and let's get into the main storylines that really came out of Raw and honestly through SmackDown too, with how everything played out this week, starting with John Cena and Bray Wyatt. With John Cena in a little predicament with the WWE app, which doesn't work at least on my part, by the way.
Really?
No, every time I go on the app, it doesn't work. It's like, oh, you got to connect to your internet. I am connected to my internet. Well, we're still not letting you vote or anything like that. Okay, back to what I was saying. John Cena is now like in an WWE app match with the fans choosing who he has to face. Either Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, or all three members of the Wyatt family.
This was delicious.
It was delicious, and if you didn't know what the result was going to be, you're missing a few screws in your brain machine.
And may I say that the commentary team are morons. During this match, they were like, "Oh, they want the King, okay, who's gone senile in the head." I'm sorry, but he says that the fans voted for a 3-on-1 handicap match because they wanted to see John Cena get his hands on Bray Wyatt.
No. Yeah.
They wanted to see Bray Wyatt. They didn't give a damn whether John Cena got his hands on him or not. They wanted to see Bray Wyatt fight. And Bray Wyatt, and did he fight? Yes, he did.
It was a very good match on all four men's count. Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, Bray Wyatt, John Cena, everyone was on their A game in this match. This is what was really like adding to what was bothering me and Brian last week of what was missing in this feud, just how intense it's all getting. Beginning with John Cena's backstage promo, saying that the people singing the song is starting to get to him, and hopefully people will make a good whatever they choose as his fate. So be it. And he got the match. He sold his reacts like, oh, great, here we go. Mm-hmm. And like I said, everyone was on their A game, and it ended with John Cena in Bray Wyatt's arms while he's singing he's got the whole world in his hands.
Which is still creepy, by the way.
It was creepy, but
he was rubbing his head like a dog.
No, that may have been creepy, but this actually was the creepiest part of me in the whole match, is when Bray Wyatt actually took a almost lifeless Cena and started dancing around with him like ballroom dance style in the middle of the ring. I'm just like, that was beautiful. That was awesome, but kind of disturbing too.
I was laughing.
I'm like, oh man, I'm getting chills.
That was glorious. That is how you sell a story.
Well, you know what? That is actually, I'm glad they brought that back, because that's what Bray Wyatt actually used to do when he first debuted on NXT as a setup to Sister Abigail. He would just start swinging them around like, oh, I'm dancing with my prey, I'm dancing. And then he would just wheel back, and then boom, Sister Abigail. So that was really cool to see that happen again.
It definitely added creepiness to this whole feud. Or anyway, this whole match, I mean. It added real creepiness, because I'm just like, this is awesome and hilarious, but I'm getting chills watching it, because he's just like, yeah, it's... Some laughing purposes, it kind of reminds me of a scene in Ace Ventura when Nature Calls, when he knocked the one guy out and started wearing him like a.
You know something? You're right.
Oh, this is nice, but this one was just added sort of creepiness, and what more can be said? This is just glorious storytelling.
Quite a bit.
Here's the deal, and this is what makes me so happy for Bray Wyatt being here, okay? Because I've been watching and reading internet columns and news and all that, and they're likening him to the 21st century version of The Undertaker.
I agree on that.
So a lot of people are saying that.
So I'm like, and this is the kind of creepiness that we need to see for that to work, because The Undertaker was all tricks, mind games, being all creepy, saying you'll rest in peace. Now we've got the cult leader. We've got the cult leader who can actually get the people, the fans, behind him. And this is... Bray Wyatt's going to be big.
Oh yeah.
For years to come, he's going to be that new age Undertaker Kane type, and it's gonna be. This is a good setup for that, because he is messing with, whether you like it or not, the top guy in the company.
Yeah, absolutely, and that speaks volumes for what kind of esteem that they're seeing Bray Wyatt in these days, which I think is tremendous. In regards to what people are saying, I've been hearing that a lot. Bray Wyatt's the next generation Undertaker. I've been hearing that a lot, and I absolutely agree. But I'm just curious as to how many people saying that are really clear as to how that might be. If you recall, one feature of Undertaker's longevity is his ability to adapt to his character and his persona to whatever time he's wrestling in the 80s and the late 80s, early 90s. He was more of that cartoony style Undertaker.
He was a different character in the 80s, but he
was
debuted as the Undertaker in 1990.
Yeah, okay. never mind then.
You're having an Undertaker fan here who.
Thank you for correcting me, then, fool.
Yeah, in the early '90s on.
Okay,
You can go.
The point is, when the Undertaker first debuted, he was more of a cartoony zombie type of guy, and it was just very slow moving, very plodding. Had to have Paul Bearer sort of talk for him.
He had Brother Love in the beginning. He had Brother Love in the beginning to talk for him.
More
cartoons. I'm sorry. Keep going.
More cartoons. Hey, if I get something wrong, I want you to correct me.
Okay.
That's why you're the scholar of all things Undertaker. Anyway, for early Undertaker, cartoons everywhere. Next Undertaker, he starts to get a little hardened. Now we're in the Attitude Era. Now we're getting super extreme, edgy '90s Rob Liefeld Undertaker with the whole Ministry of Darkness thing going on.
He's now more cult.
I'm gonna actually crucify people now.
Yeah, now
he's gone more cult when it came to the Attitude Era.
Now we're in like full on edgy satanic mode here, and now that's really. It was edgy, and it's the kind of character that Undertaker needed to be at the time, and it worked. Next up, we need a little bit of freshness. We need a little bit more reality. Now we're talking about, the kind of strange, bizarre era where Limp Bizkit was over. That's when you bring in the Undertaker, the Biker Taker, and rollin', and you know what?
It worked.
It was the Undertaker, so we already knew who it was and how good he was, and it was just fresh enough that he was that guy in real life, just a little bit louder. And for that era, it worked. It really worked. Especially in more of especially his technique definitely developed, because now we're talking about, this is when MMA started first coming into the absolute mainstream. UFC started getting big. So when he adapted that into his moveset too, it looked like something fresh, and it's something else that Undertaker could do as his body got older. Fast forward to when he needed some time off and he came back. Now we started to enter into the era of when nostalgia was being really, really recognized. So what do we get?
A mixture of all of them.
Yeah, we got to return to the old school Ministry Undertaker, I guess. Or at least a new variant of it. So more of an undead cowboy, but it was still more or less the Undertaker that most of us have grown up knowing. That sort of supernatural, dead man, blobbity blobbity blue.
Yeah, blobbity blobbity.
Blobbity blobbity blue. He did that for a while. Now we moved on to what we usually have seen today, which is sort of a return to the '90s, late '90s Rob Liefeld Attitude Era style Undertaker with all the craziness and the spikes and the crazy facial hair. The only problem is, or the only aspect is, it's sort of repeated itself again. It's another type of nostalgia. The only problem is Undertaker's running out of time. His body isn't keeping up to the changing times, so we need some sort of new. I'm not going to say we need it, but there's a void for that sort of supernatural gimmick, and I don't think a lot of people would really. If someone tried to invent a supernatural gimmick in lieu of the Undertaker, who looks like he may or may not be retiring soon, I don't think a lot of people expected it to take the form that Bray Wyatt is taking now. Again, for that time, especially during the Attitude Era, there was a lot. No one really talked about that super satanic imagery, the Ministry of Darkness, blah 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 blah. Just saying stuff like that, and saying those crazy chants. I'm not even sure where those came from, but that really made everything really creepy. Now in Bray Wyatt, we're getting glimpses of that, but with Bray Wyatt, we're also getting something very new. Something that I don't think a lot of people really pick up on. Again, the whole cult leader mentality. That is something we really have not seen before, at least not in the same way, especially since he's not really recruiting wrestlers like The Undertaker did with the Ministry. Right now, he's recruiting us. He's recruiting the crowd. And just with the whole dynamic of he's got the whole world in his hands, yeah, that's freaking scary, especially when you're talking about me, where he basically took an old Bible song or an old Sunday school song and just sort of twisted it to get the crowd on his side. And I don't know, to me that's really creepy, especially if you see some of his other NXT interviews. I don't think we've even seen a small fraction of what the Bray Wyatt character is capable of. That's terrifying.
We're still at the point where Bray Wyatt is still, like, he's in his, if you want to compare him to Undertaker, he's in his cartoon zombie monster gimmick-esque character. He's in that form. I'm not saying he's mirroring that, but he's like, when it comes to stages of who's his character in his career, he's still at that point. And there are many capabilities of where he can go with the character, and I can't wait to see it down the line in the future. And from his NXT promos to his promo on SmackDown, with him being the Snake and John Cena being the Rat trapped inside a box, and you left him with his Venom. He knows how to basically get us intrigued with his promos. We know how to get behind him. I mean, look at us. We are like worshiping him, which is exactly what they want.
Which is the point.
Which is the whole point of the character. The character and this feud. We are basically we're caught in hook, line, and sinker of where they want us to go when it comes to Bray Wyatt. And like I just said, I can't wait to see how his character evolves in the future. And I can't wait.
I am just not used to being the gimmick. I'm used to other wrestlers being the gimmick. I'm used to the other gimmick being on the other side of the camera. This, I feel like I just fell into some weird, bizarre, apocalyptic cult that I didn't know was forming, and it's honestly profoundly creepy in a way that I don't think I've ever experienced in wrestling before, and it's weird. It's freaking me out.
We're all drinking the Kool-Aid, and the Kool-Aid is good.
But I don't want to drink the Kool-Aid anymore. Mommy, I'm scared.
It's okay. It's okay to be scared.
Don't be scared.
It's okay to be part of the gimmick.
Don't be scared.
When it comes
Don't be scared.
I don't want it anymore.
Don't be scared. Just follow the buzzards.
I don't want to follow the buzzards. I'm scared.
No, you don't. You want to follow the buzzards all the way.
Would you rather follow hustle, loyalty, and respect?
At this point, kinda, yeah.
Get out.
Okay, again, I have to ask you to get out. Shame on you.
Keep the Kool-Aid away from me. I'm scared.
And now, with him gone, let's get into the next topic at hand, which is the WWE World Heavyweight Championship feud, which is Daniel Bryan versus Kane.
Someone say Daniel Bryan, I'm back.
And they,
the door's still open. Sorry.
Good, close the door. Press it! There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, so what's it about Daniel Bryan?
Daniel Bryan, well, he got whooped by Kane, returned mask-covered Kane, which really sold the return of masked Kane, showing how much of an unstoppable force he is, which I don't know if I talked about this in past episodes, but I definitely said it off mic to you guys. I definitely love the fact that Stephanie McMahon forced Kane to put the mask back on, but it would be a mistake on her part because she thinks it's something she can control. But you can't control the big red machine. You can't control the devil's favorite demon, and they definitely showed that with what happened this past Monday on Raw when he came out and really just ripped Daniel Bryan apart. Not to like Triple H extent with beating him with weapons when he's handcuffed. That's a different thing. That's Triple H's thing to handcuff him and beat him with chairs and destroy. This is something else. This is just a monster taking down Daniel Bryan with one tombstone. Oh no, Kane's walking away, but no, he takes off the steel steps. Second tombstone on the steel steps. Oh no, he's getting Daniel Bryan's hurt his neck. He's getting put on a stretcher. Oh, this is not good. But wait, no, Kane's back, flipping over the stretcher, throwing it to the side, ripping apart the announce table, putting Daniel Bryan on top of it, lifting him up. Oh no, third tombstone on the announce table. Welcome back, Kane, or Masked Kane. this is definitely just it helped build that Kane is back to old school Kane, being the threat that actually can go for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Now, do I believe that this was the original plan for what was supposed to happen on Monday Night Raw?
No.
No, I do not. Maybe one tombstone was the original plan. That original tombstone on the outside. Yeah, but due to unfortunate circumstances in the personal life of Daniel Bryan, the freak death of his father, he needed a way. He wasn't gonna not show up to Raw, and kudos for that.
Mm-hmm.
But he needed a way to be able to get written off the show
Right at
completely and very quickly, so he could leave the building
Bereavement, yes.
and spend time with his family during their time of need. And to tell you the truth, it actually made the build-up for this match a whole lot better, because that's the way it seems to go normally, right? It's real life things that happen that cause storylines to have to be built up in a more savage way, because what they did to write him off the show on Monday just made Kane seem like an unstoppable monster, and just like someone who does not care what authority tells him, and just annihilation. And this gives Daniel Bryan maybe the opportunity to take the week off on Monday and just sell it.
Bingo.
And come back at Extreme Rules and do the small babyface thing of overcoming the monster and beating Kane at Extreme Rules. But this was basically unfortunate circumstances for Daniel Bryan. Rest in peace, Daniel Bryan's father. And this was what needed to happen, really, because without this, I'm not impressed with the build up to this match to this point. Now, I'm ready. I'm raring to go. Let's get to Extreme Rules.
I agree on that, and I just want to, like you said, Brian, I want to take this quick opportunity. Us, the Scholars of Wrestling, like to give our condolences to Bryan Danielson's family. It's a terrible, terrible loss, and we hope everything works the best for you and your family. Our condolences.
And I hate to be a Debbie Downer here, but I have it on good authority that around this same time, I'm sure you've all seen eventually the Make-A-Wish kid who really wanted to see Daniel Bryan and got front row tickets to WrestleMania 30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I found out like a couple days ago that kid actually ended up passing away.
Well, at least it was like something he was happy about, something
he
wanted to see.
It just seems so bizarre. Like we have first with Warrior, then with Bryan's dad, and then with Bryan's arguably biggest fan. It just seems like everyone lasted just long enough for everyone to see their big moment, and it's beautiful if it wasn't so tragic.
Yeah, and
it's beautifully tragic.
Yes,
or tragically beautiful, or something along those lines.
The one real thing I gotta have to point out that you said, Brian, that would help with the storyline, Bryan missing a week, they actually pointed out that Bryan has said that he's planning on coming on Monday Night Raw to confront Kane.
Of course they do. And,
so sorry
and
about that. I'm sorry to be
it's one of those, like, I don't believe it furthers the story. As I said before WrestleMania, that storyline, to me, the build-up is done. I don't care what happens on Monday between Kane and Daniel Bryan. What happened on Monday was good enough for me. I don't need to see any more. Am I going to see any more? Of course I am going to see more. But what happens on Monday doesn't really matter to me. I'm there.
You're sold.
I'm sold. The only thing you can do now is just damper that excitement. I'm already there. I'm at the top of my excitement game. The only thing you can do now is damper that.
I don't think they're going to damper it.
Yeah, that's going to be quite the uphill battle. I mean, really, they set the stage. You know you're going to want to see these guys go at it. I really cannot see any reason or method that this could conceivably be pushed off to the side, except maybe it won't be in the main event. Is this even for? Yeah,
this is for the title.
Okay. What I don't want to see happen is Daniel Bryan get one up on Kane before Extreme Rules. I want Daniel Bryan to come out, confront Kane, and Kane do it again.
That's what I want to see.
Because if he gets one up on Kane before Extreme Rules and then beats him at Extreme Rules, I was like, well, then what was the point?
The only way I can see it without having it repeat itself is Daniel Bryan come out, probably brace like a small neck brace or something, saying, "No matter, you can't keep me down, Kane. Like, I've taken a beating from Evolution." He probably won't even put it that far. It's like, I've been through a lot to get these titles, and I'm going to be going through a lot to keep these titles. And then Kane shows up on the Titantron and does Kane mind games similar to Taker, because Kane's quote Taker's brother. Fire, baby, fire! Let it burn.
Hellfire and brimstone.
I kind of want to see it just really, like, I don't want to see any more physicality stuff. I just want to see them talking and Kane still showing his dominance over Daniel Bryan, with Daniel Bryan saying he's going to fight, but Kane does a promo, maybe like on the Titantron, similar to how it's like, "You're letting out the hate, Cena." Something similar to that, and then the fire goes off. The only way that can really hurt this feud is if they bring back Dr. Shelby. It's like, "Hey guys, what happened? I thought you guys were friends."
Dr. Shelby will not wreck this.
That won't hurt because he'll get on the wrong side of Kane, and Kane will dominate.
I would want to see that happen after Extreme Rules.
Yes, I would love to see Dr. Shelby back again.
It would just crack me up because after Raw, I think Wednesday or something, I just went on YouTube just to watch some old Kane, Daniel Bryan, Dr. Shelby bits. I'm just like, remember a time when these guys were friends? Now they're fighting for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Man, have these guys evolved. Good times. Good times. And because of the whole Daniel Bryan, Kane, Dr. Shelby past, there's no question in my mind these guys are actually going to have a good match at Extreme Rules.
Absolutely.
And we'll leave it at that. We'll go to really the big story that came out of this week with Evolution versus The Shield. The Shield coming out on Raw, wanting to take out Evolution. It's like, "Oh, you talking about adapting? Well, we can adapt. Come on out." Well, actually, no, that didn't happen. Evolution came out first, talking about adapting, and then The Shield came in and did their promo, doing the whole "we can adapt." Show you guys are running away. Let's fight and see who can adapt more. They come in. The 11 guys show up behind Evolution. That's really pretty much it. That happened on Raw, and then it leads to SmackDown with the Shield
show starring the Shield.
With the Shield, exactly. With the Shield being put in a 3-on-11 handicap match again, but this time they're outsmarting it by attacking a good chunk of the 11 superstars, putting Fandango through a table off the stage. We haven't seen that since... When was that? I think the last time we saw someone got thrown off the stage through a table was Kane chokeslamming Eric Bischoff through the table after he took off his mask for the first time back in 2002.
Oh, I thought that for some reason I kept thinking that happened to Cena, but
no, that was Big Show either Edge. That was Big Show throwing John Cena through a spotlight.
Yeah,
that got Edge. That won Edge the title.
And let's see, who else did they took down 3MB backstage. They attacked Brad Maddox because he's Brad Maddox, and we love Brad Maddox, but he's just the guy who gets beat up every week.
You pissed off Dean Ambrose, which is something you don't do.
Oh, that scene looked so awkward for all the wrong reasons. But
because who knows what was happening back there, really?
I know, a beating.
Ew.
What? It's the Shield beating up on people.
No, just no.
But,
Don't. All right, who else did they
Dean
attack?
Ambrose-
Stop. Let's see. They came
attacked
out and
Jack
attacked
Swagger.
Swagger, which left to
Dean
stop it.
Ambrose-
Which left to Alberto Del Rio, Damian Sandow, Bad News Barrett, Titus O'Neil, Ryback. Was Curtis Axel in the match?
I'm sure.
Curtis.
I know Dean Ambrose was there.
Stop.
I know Seth Rollins was there.
I know Roman Reigns was there.
And he's calling everyone a cream puff.
Which led to pretty much a beat down by the Shield. Wade Barrett being the smart one. I hate to say Del Rio, but he's like, "Oh, I'm going too," but no, you're
I've
gonna
got
get
a push coming.
It's like no,
I gotta get
Wade
out of
Barrett's
here.
just like, "Oh no, I'm being Intercontinental Champion in the future. I'll push Del Rio to Roman Reigns' Superman punch," taking him out. And Wade Barrett's gone, and of course our old savior Damian Sandow being the one
The only bad part of the night.
getting pinned. It was sad, but hey, this really is building the feud between the Shield and Evolution, showing that they can quote quote adapt. They can take on Evolution and dominate.
There's one thing that's missing from this feud.
If
in
you
my
say
opinion.
if you say Dr. Shelby, I will kill you.
No. Okay, they're
Not
missing out on an awesome opportunity here, and I think that it should happen during this week. Okay. Evolution stole the Shield's catchphrase, saying "Believe in evolution." The Shield needs to steal Evolution's catchphrase and say this Sunday at Extreme Rules, the Shield will pass you by.
Ooh, I would love that.
Except I honestly did not remember that was Evolution's tagline ever.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
For a quick second, I forgot what their tagline, but Brian saying it reminded me. I'm like, yeah, that's right. That is their old tagline. And with the announcement that Ric Flair is going to show up on Monday Night Raw, I am with the fourth member of Evolution showing up. The only thing that really can be done, and I kind of don't want to say it, is Ric Flair getting beat down by the Shield, taking a triple power bomb and lead to Evolution, be like, "Oh no! Why did you do that? That's not right!" And then you could throw in the tagline, Brian. Come here. Brian, come here. Say the tagline again. Say it.
The Shield will pass you by.
That would be a perfect closure to the Go Home show.
Now,
At least in my opinion.
Now, really, there's one little aspect of this week's Monday Night Raw, or next week's Monday Night Raw, that I feel went painfully underaddressed.
Oi.
That's the announcement that Hugh Jackman will be back on Monday Night Raw.
Whose jaw is he going to break this time?
Exactly. What is he going to do?
I know what he's going to do. They kind of hinted at it this past week, and I know whose jaw he's going to go after next. And of course I know he's going to go after Damian Sandow, because they're going to have Dolph Ziggler versus Damian Sandow, which they posted this past Raw, the Twitter war that had Ziggler be like, "Oh, we're gonna fix whatever beef we had last time." Okay, yeah, you got it. And then Sandow comes in and starts trash talking Ziggler. We're going to have a match with Dolph Ziggler with Hugh Jackman in his corner versus Damian Sandow.
And Sandow's going to get it.
Sandow's going to get punched.
Punch in the face by Wolverine, bub.
Hey, at least he actually has a spot on Raw. That's something,
Yeah,
right?
It is.
It's something.
Yeah, it's something.
It's not a good something, but it's something.
It's something. Yeah. I wish they paid me Damian Sandow's salary to get punched in the
It's
face by
something that
Wolverine.
isn't a 2-minute squash match.
Here's something I'm going to ask, though. Will they have a backstage segment with Zack Ryder and Hugh Jackman? Since, Hugh Jackman was behind Zack Ryder
That'll be
last
on
time.
Superstars.
That'll probably just be a backstage segment, and then Dolph Ziggler come in and they're going to shake hands and be all happy doo-dah.
That'll be on the pre-show on the WWE Network. Tune in!
If you have the network, tune in. We suck at not having the networks yet, but
Give it
at least we
time.
have our reasons. It's not like we don't want it. We just have our own little issues outside.
Jeff has, since Daniel Bryan is the champion, and it happened at WrestleMania.
I will still get the
Jeff
the
will get the
WWE
network when we will get the network when we can actually afford it.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh, it's nice.
We're poor.
It
happens.
It's nice to be proven wrong and saying I'm not going to buy the network. Daniel Bryan win. I'm buying the network. Yay!
Hey, a bet's a bet.
It was. And is there anything else we can say that happened with Evolution and the Shield?
Not with Evolution and the Shield.
Or just with anything.
Alexander Rusev showed up with Lana, and Lana looked amazing.
Lana's got legs.
She knows how to use them.
Haha, Stacy Keibler reference. I love it.
Yeah,
ZZ Top, baby. There you go.
They knew what they were talking about.
Yep.
I got nothing else.
Those Duck Dynasty looking guys knew what they were talking about.
Congratulations, Stacy Keibler, on having a child.
Yay!
That's
cool.
Good for the guy. Good for the guy. Good for the guy. Standing ovation for you, sir.
And since we got nothing else, I think it was a good show this time, gentlemen. This week, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
Is that saying that we've had bad shows? What are you doing?
Yes, we
I'm
are
just
awesome.
saying it's a good week that I can conclude a show thinking about Lana's legs.
Yes.
Legs.
And Layla just being on the show in general. That's good for me.
Layla wearing Summer Rae's leftover outfits.
Yes.
It was a good week.
And shimmying. It was a good week on the Divas front.
I was going to say, where is Summer Rae? But I forgot. Her and Miz are making, the Marine Million?
Yeah,
they're making a movie, and
they're not
Miz
missed.
and the Miz and Maurice are in the hotel room doing their thing. So that's it.
All is right with the world.
Yes.
We'll close it at that. Thank you all for listening in on this week's episode.
Can't get much worse than that.
We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled. You're welcome. She got legs.
I'm not singing.
She knows how to use them. Now I'm actually throwing you out. Yeah.